Alright, yo, what's good? This is Troublemaker.
And the champ.
Alright, yo, hold it like this, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah, so check this out, guys. We have a little bit of time to kill. So in the meantime, we're going to do something that's been long anticipated, and that's that Halloween Haunt 2015 review.
Oh, man, this is a long time coming. Jeez, Halloween Haunt was back in October. Thanks to all of you, by the way, for watching that video. Freaking awesome. I never thought I would have gotten that many hits. So thanks to every single one of you who watched it. And let's get this motherfucker started, right?
Yeah. Alright, so check this out. First of all, the Halloween Haunt monsters this year, they were full of energy. It was live. I went twice. How many times did you go?
To Haunt once.
Once, okay. Now, when we went the first time, we had the skeleton keys.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Those were good, especially the new ones.
Yeah.
I can't believe Cornstalkers actually had one, though. That was awesome.
Yeah, but the Cornstalkers one was slightly lame.
It was, yeah, let's face it. If you were stupid enough to fall for it, I feel bad for you.
Okay, so can you please hold this, and as I drive, we will continue.
Alright, so I'm taking this, I'm commandeering this camera. So essentially, I got some news that apparently Club Blood's leaving next year, which is, if it's true, it freaking sucks. Because honestly, I love the Halloween theme and everything, and I love Haunt in general, but if they take away Club Blood, they're taking away one of my favorite places to visit, and that one of the main reasons I even end up going in the first place.
So he's gonna be disappointed if come next year or this year in October.
Right.
Remember, he's calling it from now, folks. If Club Blood's no longer there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard time to justify coming back there, kind of like with Screamers, but that's for another video.
Okay. I was kind of upset that Clowns at Midnight was gone because I'm a huge Clowns fan, and that's where I started my Haunt career. But it was dope to see Carnival still going at it. Shout out to Flowers. Yeah, so that's...
Yeah, wasn't Daniel's, but I keep forgetting the guy's name. Wasn't he working that again this year?
Yeah.
What was his name? Mark or something? I can't remember. Whoa.
Alright. Yeah, so driving and making videos can be dangerous, guys.
That's why I'm holding this thing. If this motherfucker holding this camera, we'd be crashed by now. Alright, so what else did we do at Haunt this year? We did, as you mentioned, Carnival. There was there's the other scare zone. It was over by Time War. Special shout out to my boy Godwin, who's
Hold the camera up a little more so they could actually see.
Sorry guys.
Yeah.
So special shout out to my boy Godwin, who was working there. You'll see him towards the end of my Halloween Haunt video.
If you haven't already seen it, if you're not one of the fucking 12,000 people that watched it.
Yeah, well, there's like 7 billion people in the world, so it's not that big of a shock. But hey, you know what? And also thank you for watching my Royal Rumble so far. I got at least 100 hits on the first one. I got to go online again to see about the next one, and the third one. If you watch the second one, you know the third one's coming out Tuesday. Sorry for the low light, by the way, but we're driving at night, man. We're on the back roads. We're at night. This is gonna get pretty effing dark.
All right. So back to Haunt. What I truly like about Haunt is the rides in the dark, you know. So
yeah, even though we didn't get to do Behemoth.
I understand, you know, Behemoth was not part of the list, but the rides in the dark, they are dope. One of my favorites is the Bat, you know, because they also have like this eerie red fog around the Bat.
That was sick. I gotta admit that. You go on it more than once, you get kind of dizzy and sick and whatnot, but it was actually pretty damn dope, I gotta say.
Yeah, man. And as my boy Jesse would always say, hey, if you need, like, if you feel too full and you feel like you kind of need to digest your food way faster, just take a ride on the Bat and you'll go to the bathroom right after.
He ain't lying.
Nah, man. And alright, so let's see here.
What about Sci-Fi House? What'd you think of that one?
Sci-Fi House, both times when we went in, and okay, forgive the noise in the background with the bottles, but yeah, when we went in Sci-Fi House both times, I could honestly say that it's more like they weren't that amped when we went in both, like that when I went in both times, and plus what the hell is this car doing right here?
I have no idea. Just leave it. Who cares? As long as he's not going through, we're going through.
Yeah, that was awkward. Sorry. Yeah, so Sci-Fi House last year, it's just both times when I went through, they were not that amped. I'm not sure why, but I can tell you, like, some of my favorite characters of Sci-Fi House is the guy that shows up twice with the varsity jackets. I think they have 2 of them around in that Sci-Fi House.
That was Sci-Fi House?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was Sci-Fi House. The one thing that truly gets me at the Sci-Fi House, my plus for it, is the fact that you have all the, what do you call it? All the little like fly traps things on the walls right before you get in. That's pretty frightening. And
not to mention the moving cabinets and shit.
That could get to you for sure. And the big ass insects in Sci-Fi House too. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Made the Monsters. Yeah,
man. Right. So let's talk a little bit about the skeleton key rooms. There were some that were new, as we mentioned, Cornstalkers.
Okay.
And some that were a little old, aka the Ruins, but still got this guy right here. And he says he explains why in my other video, so we don't need to go into it in too much detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, it scared him, didn't get me because I knew it was coming. What are the skeleton key rooms? So we didn't get to do Terror of London again that time, and thank God, because that one's really, if you got a bad back, you really don't want to go on that one. Basically, you just gotta crawl, and it's pitch black. You gotta crawl. It gets narrower and narrower, and you gotta keep, like I said, ducking down and shit, and you gotta. It is just really freaking. It's a back killer.
Honestly, it's really trippy too. Like you think you're actually about to get killed. You're like, I think this attraction is like not what it's supposed to be because of how like odd it gets. And if you guys really want a little bit of history and like notification of where they probably pulled and made that thing up. See, there used to be a Halloween haunt maze back in the day called Miner's Revenge.
Right. Yeah.
And as you would walk through it in the mine part, you would notice that it gets smaller and smaller. So now that maze is not there, they found a way to still utilize the platform in a much darker environment.
Yeah. And also, our boy DJ Danzo's, you've seen in our workout videos and whatnot, he was working the Streets of the Undead, and they had a new skeleton key room. They're one of the ones that had a new one instead of the one they had last year.
A very storylined one.
Yeah. Basically, what you were doing is you were standing in this room, you had to watch this monitor, and like it showed like this person dragging this body or whatever, and then they come and sneak up behind you. It was anticipated for me anyway. I kind of had a feeling what was coming, but I remember last year they had a different one, like I said. But you know what? I like the fact that they're changing stuff up. And what else we did? We did the asylum. That didn't have a skeleton key room. We had the asylum.
Yes.
Which, frankly, in my personal opinion, getting a little off topic here, but Screamer's Asylum is much better than Haunt's Asylum. In my personal opinion, Screamer's Asylum is the only reason I went this year. But
shout out to Screamers.
Yeah, man. A little thing about that too. If you saw our other video, myself and Shadow Kid, who's not here today, we did a video on Screamers the week after me and this Monica went, and they weren't. One of the mazes, they weren't fully ready when we came in. So they were. As soon as they saw us, they fucking scattered. Like you wouldn't. It was so funny. I was like, oh man, they're not even ready for us. They tell us to go in, but they're not even ready.
Oh wow, yo, that's a quick side plug story. Amazing.
That was crazy. All right, so back on topic. I know we're going everywhere in this motherfucker, but we just want to get as much of our thoughts out of the way.
Yeah. Okay, so the skeleton key room for Cornstalkers, it was cool because it was a rhyme game, but it was kind of lame because like it was so short. You know, I'm saying this, man. The lineup and the anticipation to go through Cornstalkers, which ends up being a pretty short maze within itself, is kind of lame. It's almost like not worth it. I'm still gonna do it because I paid for the attractions, right? But like on an occasion where you're stuck in a conga line and stuff like that, it's not worth it because of how short it is. But I miss the old school Slaughter Mill maze, which had more of what do you call it? more of it was the longest maze like in Halloween haunt history, and it was also placed in the forest, right?
How long ago was that, by the way?
I think it retired in like 2010.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a while. I think I just started going around that time.
Okay. Because back in the day with Halloween haunt, a little history for you guys is like you had Corn Stalkers, Slaughter Mill, and Miner's Revenge back to back.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't remember the Slaughter Mill, but the other ones I do.
Yeah. Now, some dislikes. Some dislikes. I hope this doesn't. This is just my personal opinion. This year at Haunt, when I went back the second time, I did not really appreciate the way security was on me and my friends because.
What happened?
Basically, before we even got in the park, I feel like they were giving one of my friends a hard time, which is fine. You want to make sure everyone's in line, when they're going to this attraction, right? And I just missed the turn. Shit. Okay. Give me a second here.
Driving and recording, don't do it, kiddies.
Yeah. So yeah, like which is good, which is normal. I'm not gonna really hate on that. But at the end of the day, I feel like they more or less were on us way too much. Like because we went in, we were amped up, we were on fire, we're like, yeah, we're having fun. We had the raver gloves, we bought the raver gloves in the park, all that stuff. And Haunt security and Haunt staff were like, oh, you're not allowed to wear those gloves in the maze. This means the monsters cannot scare you. And I said that's not true because the necklace.
Yeah, that's the necklace. That's not the raver gloves.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, can I just say, what the hell is up with that? I mean, okay, like, I can kind of understand maybe, but at the same time, if you're not going to get scared, go during the freaking day. Wonderland is open during the day on weekends. You can still go, you can still have a good time and not worry about getting scared. You're coming back at night, you're just wasting the lineups for everybody who actually wants to be there.
Straight up. So like, I knew the rules about these raver gloves. Like, as a staff member, I bought them too, like back in 2013. And like, they were like, listen, it's like if you're gonna wear them, make sure you either have them off or you have them on red, so it fits more into a scary type of character.
Right.
Cool. Now, like, they came up with all sorts of excuses, so no one had the right story to tell me, so you knew it was a bunch of baloney. But they were like, oh, you know what? Yeah, the raver gloves means the cast will not scare you. No, that's not true. And then they said, oh, the raver gloves will blind our monsters, our teammates, our staff. I can respect that. I can understand that. All right, fine, turn it off. But at the same time, guys, we're there to have a good time. So, like, just back off. And yes, actually, the other thing too, I did loosen up a little bit. I did have a couple of drinks, and security's trying to stand there and tell me, "Oh, we don't sell big drinks in the park." Excuse me? Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
At the
you do.
backlot stunt coaster,
Yeah.
you do. And on top of that, I went there twice, and your bartender remembered me. So I am venting. Yeah, I'm not trying to cause a scene or nothing. But really, I know my rights, man, and I was completely in them. I didn't touch a monster. Honestly, I was just there to have fun, trip out. Yes, maybe my voice was a little more outrageous than it should have been, but whatever. It was a good time, and I was having fun. And where the hell is DJ Danzo? And
You sure that's?
oh yeah, he's there.
Oh, he's here. All right, so maybe we'll get his perspective on it, being because since he worked here, like you said earlier.
And on top of that, though, right after my long speech, he might not want to speak on it.
All right. Well, in that case, then just gonna talk real quick about the last few mazes there. They had, as I mentioned, Club Blood stuff. They changed it around quite a lot this past year. I don't know if that's indicative of anything, but and they had what was like right beside it? I can't remember. It's just be something.
Oh, Bloodshed.
Yeah. You're gonna have to wait a couple minutes, bro. We're filming.
What? No? Whatever.
Anyway, it's probably gonna get edited. So basically, Yeah, like we were saying, I don't know what the heck this guy's doing, but in any case. So bloodshed, that wasn't too bad. I had this whole thing like freaking mapped out.
Yeah.
I had everything written down what I was going to say about it, and then my freaking BlackBerry decided to stop working, so I forget most of the stuff I was going to say. But anyway, I don't know if Troublemaker's got anything more to say about it. I personally don't, except for, you know, the rides are always awesome at night, no matter what time you go, what time of year.
Okay, so I guess all I have to say is Haunt's cool, but definitely one of my favorite events. You know, I'll always go back. I didn't like the way that we got treated, you know, as guests, though, by security the second time around. We're just kids at the end of the day, being kids. And, like, we're not kids, man. We're actually adults, but we're having fun and we're doing it properly. And so, yeah, like, there's nothing to, you know, like, they should not have tripped out like that. And it wasn't appreciative.
No, it wasn't.
But at the end of the day, I do me, I do my thing. And, you know, we're gonna, you know, knock wood. Hopefully they don't judge us so hard because they're like, oh, your security was mean, now you can't come back. Hopefully they're not like that, you know, because that would be like another problem. Because Haunt's one of my favorite things, right? Like, I love the Halloween attractions and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, man, yeah, shout